Kanchanaburi, Thailand, the bridge over the River Kwai, and the Death Railway, where thousands upon thousands of prisoners of war, Allied troops, and Chinese laborers lost their lives while digging their way through these rocks with their bare hands. Malnutrition and extreme mistreatment caused the death of many in this Hellfire Pass, probably the most famous point along the railway between Thailand and Burma. But not many of the soldiers from World War II are left alive to tell us the stories. Yet in this area there's thousands of graves that are marked with the names and the ages of young men who gave up their lives to fight a war on the other side of the world. They gave up their dreams and their passions. And it causes me to ask myself, what am I investing my life into that's going to make a difference for the generations to come, like these men made a difference for me? G.J. Walsh, 21 years old, signed up in England because he heard on the news. And I want you to imagine this, tomorrow morning you hear on the news, our nation has gone to war. The world, the freedom of the world stands in the balance. Will you sign up? This young man no doubt had hopes and dreams. He probably had a career path chosen by this point. Maybe he was apprenticing for something, maybe he was in university. Became a gunner for the Royal Artillery because they needed him. And we needed him. Thank you, G.J. Walsh, for your service, right? But the choice is, are you and I willing to be flexible enough to suddenly, when we hear the call, and Jesus calls and he says, I want you to go into all the world and make disciples of all nations. And that could be geographically right where you are to right over here where we are in the front lines of the Great Commission. But the go is something that happens in your heart, that you're willing to go from your own hopes and dreams and chosen career path and be flexible to go into what God has called you into, something significant, something powerful, something of destiny. And when Jesus comes back and the war is over, he's going to call us into account and say, what did you do with the life that I gave you? Did you live it for yourself, or did you lay down your life for others? And what is his promise? He says, if you will lay down your life for others, that's when you find it. You try to keep it, try to preserve it. Man, I tell you, I probably upset my grandparents, no doubt, and I know my parents, because they didn't understand. Why do you want to go all the way over there? We've got enough trouble in our own backyard. Why don't you fix some of those troubles? And I'm like, why don't you? You can stay here and fix those troubles. I'm going to the front lines because there's a war waging. In fact, raging. And we need soldiers. We need an army. And there's going to be, in these last days, there is going to be an uprising of a great army of God signing up to be trained, to be discipled, to be mobilized into the Great Commission. It's your destiny. So I want you to contact me. Victory Asia Bible College. Come and be trained by us in Thailand on the front lines of the Great Commission. I might even bring you here to Kanchanaburi, one of the most fascinating places I've ever been. You think about all these people that gave their lives. Thousands and thousands of people who didn't do what they wanted to do, but they signed up for war. Significance, destiny, purpose, fulfillment, it's all here when you sign up for the army.